Dun, 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 dun. Stop me, oh, ho, ho, stop me. Stop me if you think that you've heard this one before. Terrible singing there, Franco. Anyway, but really, stop me if you think you've heard this one before. And I'm not referencing the Smiths song from 1987 or For Strange Ways Here We Come. I'm talking about a Time magazine article that I have right here. Say, boom, bloop, Time magazine. That I pulled off the end. The article was written, I forgot the gal's name, Amanda something or other. I don't think it was Amanda Bynes, but Amanda something. And boy, she should be given a what do you get for that? What do you get for writing? I don't know. Whatever. You get some award for writing. But regardless, I'm rambling. This article was written in January of 2018. So that's like 4 years ago. 4 years ago. It was January 18th. It came out in Time magazine. So I'm going to read it for you, okay? And we'll start with the headline. Hospitals overwhelmed by flu patients, and they are treating them intense. Here's why the flu is especially bad this year, 2018. Almost a full year before a certain thing happened. Actually, yeah, almost about a good year and 3/4 before a certain thing happened. So, let's get into the article, shall we? The 2017-2018 influenza epidemic is sending people to hospitals and urgent care centers in every state, all 50. And medical centers are responding with extraordinary measures, asking staff to work overtime, setting up triage tents, restricting friends and family visits, and canceling elective surgeries, to name a few. We are pretty much at capacity, and the volume is certainly different from previous flu seasons, says Dr. Alfred Talia, professor in the chair of family medicine at Robert Wood Johnson Medical Center in New Brunswick, New Jersey. I've been in practice for 30 years, and it's been a good 15 or 20 years since I've seen flu-related illness scenario like we've had this year. So 20 years ago. So back in the 90s, I guess there was a problem too. Talia says his hospital is managing, but just barely, at keeping up with the increased number of sick patients. The hospital's urgent care centers have been so inundated, and its outpatient clinics have no appointments available. The story is similar in Alabama, which declared a state of emergency last week in response to the flu epidemic. Dr. Bernard Kamens, associate professor at infectious diseases at the University of Alabama, Birmingham, hospitals have canceled elective surgeries for Thursday and Friday of that week to make more beds available for flu patients. We've had to treat patients in places in places we normally wouldn't, like in recovery rooms. The emergency room was very crowded, both with sick patients and those that had been admitted and patients who just needed to be seen. In California, another state which has been particularly hard hit this season's flu, several hospitals have set up large surge tents outside of their emergency departments to accommodate and treat flu patients. Even the LA Times reported this week emergency departments had standing room only. Does this story sound anything familiar to you? Think. I can think of something that sounds vaguely familiar. The Lehigh Valley system in Allentown, Pennsylvania. So we're hitting all aspects of the United States. set up similar surge tents in its parking lot in response to increased patients presenting with various viral illnesses, including a norovirus, respiratory syncytial virus, and the flu. So they had a couple of things going on there. I wonder if they were using PCR tests. We've put into operation a couple of times now over the last few days, and said, I think Tuesday saw upwards of 40 people in the tent. Wonder how all these people knew they had the flu. Did they get tested? Many hospitals also are encouraging visitors to stay away. Can't come visit your person in the hospital, huh? And that temporarily restricting visits from children 14 and under and anyone with flu symptoms. Loyola University Health System in Chicago, which set up a flu activity record of 190 confirmed cases between January 7th and 13th, has also instituted similar visitor restrictions. In Fenton, Missouri, St. Clair Hospital has opened its emergency overflow wing. The emergency I didn't even know there was an emergency overflow wing. As well as outpatient centers and surgical holding centers to make more beds available to patients. Nurses are being pulled from all floors, says registered nurse Jennifer Brazawiski, and are being offered an increased hourly rate to work above and beyond their normal schedules. You're first responders. You're on the front lines. Many nurses have also become sick. However, so the staff is also short-handed staff in a hospital. Oh, wow. The flu has been especially affected hospital patients with other health issues. What? The flu has especially affected hospital patients with other health issues. Comorbidities, anyone? Respiratory failure from the flu and other rampant upper respiratory infections. Brzezinski says she picked up a few extra shifts this month, overtime, and they haven't gone into mandatory overtime on my floor yet. CDC Director Brenda Fitzgerald said last week the flu appeared to be peaking, but that'll take many more weeks for the flu activity to truly slow down. It is slowing down, thank God, and there have been some seasons that have actually had 2 peaks, 2 surges. So we really don't know what to expect in the next few months. Doctors say it's not too late to get the flu shot, though. So don't wait, go out and get the shot. Even if you've already been sick, just go get another shot. Okay. They're also encouraging otherwise healthy people, asymptomatic people who think they have the flu, to call primary care doctors rather than visit emergency rooms. If you're otherwise healthy, you can ask your doctor to prescribe an antiviral medicine over the phone. Prescribe an antiviral medicine over the phone. Can you imagine? What kind of conspiracy lunatics are they back in 2018? Prescribing antiviral medication over the phone. Let's see, we're almost done. Let me see. That's why departments can be freed up to care for patients who are most vulnerable. Serious complications from the flu, the elderly, and people with pre-existing conditions. Wow. Let me see, did I read everything? Yeah, I went over everything. Can you imagine? Does this sound like anything you've heard before? Better yet, did the country lock down for this flu outbreak that overrun every hospital in every city and state in the U.S. back in 2018? Did it? Were you actually handing out prescribed antivirals over the phone? like I said, man, this is, I don't know what to say. This is some horse shit. But anyway, sidebar, just a little tidbit for your noodle. In 1970, there were 203 million people in the United States in 1970. 203 million. In 2022, I don't even think we have the current census yet, but they're still running with the 336 million or 33 million, whatever. So let's say 330 million people in the U.S. I think it's more like 360 to 370, but that's just my opinion. Can't prove it. Okay, in 1970, the hospital beds in the United States were 1.5 million beds. Guess what they are today? Well, as of 2019, there were approximately 900,000 beds. 900,000. Almost cut in half. Almost cut in half. Population doubles, hospital beds cut in half. I don't know, where's the logic there? Where's all the infrastructure money going? Huh? Yeah, it's kind of a rant video. I get it. But anyway, there you go. The hospitals were overwhelmed. They were putting triage tents out, mandatory overtime for the frontline workers, the heroes. They had to cancel elective surgeries. People with comorbidities were dying. The elderly were especially vulnerable. But well, guess what? We didn't shut down the fucking country. Peace. Have a good day.